Hey, Puppy Trades! As many of you know, I'm a truth seeker. I'm part of the truth community. And one of the problems that the truth community has had is messaging. Larry Johnson is a good example of this. He talks about Rudy Johnson being sacrificed, number 32 for the Cincinnati Bengals, at age 45. He talks about Freemasons. He talks about the cult of Baal. He talked about the Star of Remphan. He talked about blood sacrifice, right? All these really important topics. And you look at the comments. And most of these comments are saying it's not CTE, it's life. Look at the CTE here. So, they're saying Larry Johnson is crazy for talking about Freemasons and the Star of Remphan. What was Larry Johnson talking about? He was talking about the movie Him. So there's a movie called Him, directed by Jordan Peele, or created by Jordan Peele. And it's about a football player who has to make sacrifices. He has to make deals with the devil to be good at football, right? To win championships. So Larry Johnson would know if there's any truth to this. So he's talking about the movie Him, and everyone's just saying he has CTE. Larry Johnson has been a truth seeker for a long time. People just keep saying he's got CTE. A lot of truth seekers just get called crazy. I get called crazy. Let's look at this Yield Max logo for a little bit. I've talked about Yield Max Magic, how they introduced their ETFs at a very interesting time for the underlying stock. I call it Yield Max Magic. Let's look at this logo for a little bit. It looks like a triangle, and then the D is right in the middle of the triangle, and it forms a circle. Well, if I didn't know any better, this logo looks like a pyramid with an eye in the middle of it. Very similar to the pyramid on your dollar bill. Very similar to the pyramid with an eye on it in your Illuminati logo. So Larry Johnson was talking about Him. Yield Max, that movie, by the way, released on September 19th, right at the end of the third quarter. Yield Max on 9/23 launched the HIMS Option Income Strategy ETF, HIYY. So for the first time in this stock's life cycle, and look, they announced this ETF was coming 2 days before the movie released, Him. So they released the HIMS Out of the Money Covered Call ETF on September 23rd. Their logo is a pyramid with an eye in it. This is a former NFL player named Larry Johnson telling you what the movie Him is about is real. That there's actually blood sacrifices that go into these football games, and that there's blood sacrifices that Freemasons are making. That's interesting. I've talked about as recently as my most recent video yesterday and this morning how the Dow Jones is controlled by blood sacrifice, and how elites have to tell everyone. They have to tell everyone their plans, and they got to make it fair. They have to tell everyone their plans and put it right in front of your face. Right in front of your face. And the rules of insider trading, by the way, specifically state all the information specific to a company used to make an investment has to be publicly available. So if there were blood sacrifices going on in the NFL, and if there were blood sacrifices going on that was being synced up, or were being synced up with the stock market, they'd have to tell everyone. What do you know? What do you know? It's the perfect time to buy hymns. Larry Johnson's talking about the sacrifice of a running back named Rudy. And look at this right here. It's the perfect time to buy hymns. He's talking about the movie Him with Jordan Peele, talking about how their sacrifices, what he needs to do is talk about how elites are enriching themselves with these sacrifices. Elites are enriching themselves with these sacrifices. They know that Jordan Peele releasing the movie Hymns was a perfect time to buy Hims Corporation. The whole movie was about blood sacrifice. In fact, they've probably known that since the trailers for that movie started releasing. But what do you know? Right at the end of the third quarter, right when YieldMax releases the Hims Option Income Strategy ETF, which I expect to do very well, and I expect to yield very high, at least in the 80% range. What do you know? It's the perfect time to buy Hims. It's the perfect time to buy shares of HIMS and blend them with HIYY, because Hims is entering wave 3 of wave 3 to 87 before shallow wave 4 and wave 5 higher up to 117. And HIYY is going to pay big juicy dividends that whole time. And blending Hims with HIYY gives income and it gives upside appreciation, a strategy known as the half right. So, if Larry Johnson and truth seekers want to get the message across, they got to stop talking about betting on football. Yes, football games are rigged. That Thursday night football game that you just watched was a Charlie Kirk ritual. Football games are rigged, no doubt. But the real way to make money from being a truth seeker is knowing that the Dow Jones is controlled by blood sacrifice, and that elites have to tell everyone how to enrich themselves because they know only the illuminated ones will listen.